Have you ever asked yourself why you believe what you believe? Why you doubt yourself even when you know you are capable? And most importantly, have you ever stopped to think where those thoughts actually come from? Hey, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Winnie Marita. And if you're returning, welcome back to Your Mind is the Limit community. This is a space where we help you break limiting beliefs, build a strong mindset, understand yourself on a deeper level, and become the best version of yourself from the inside out. Today we are going to talk about where limiting beliefs come from and how to break free from them. Without further ado, let's get started. When some people are experiencing negative thoughts or having a bad day, they quickly turn to positive affirmations. And don't get me wrong, affirmations are good, but sometimes they don't really help because it's like taking painkillers when you have a headache. You might feel a little relief, but you haven't actually understood what is causing the pain in the first place. There could be an underlying issue, but instead of dealing with it, you end up treating the symptoms and ignoring the root cause. So before we talk about how to break limiting beliefs, we first need to understand where they come from. The first one is your environment. We are a product of our environment. This includes both your surroundings and the people around you, like your parents, teachers, colleagues, romantic partner, and friends. Everything you see and hear shapes how you think, whether you realize it or not. If you grew up hearing things like success is only for lucky people, or if in your home, love was only shown when you well behaved, met certain expectations, or had good grades, you may have learned that love and approval must be earned. Most of our beliefs about ourselves and certain things in life were formed when we were still children. By the time you are old enough to think for yourself, those beliefs are already running in the background, shaping how you think, feel, and behave. The second one is past experiences. Not everyone grew up in a bad environment. Some people had healthy homes and good parents, but still feel stuck because of past pain or failures. Your brain uses your past to predict your future. So if something happened before and you never consciously process it, your mind stores it as a warning. It doesn't just stay in the past, it shows up in the way you make decisions, the risks you avoid, the opportunities you don't even give yourself a chance to try. For example, if you once started a business and it failed, your mind may use that as proof that you will fail again. That past experience then becomes evidence in your mind. That evidence turns into doubt. Over time, those unresolved experiences turn into invisible limits because your mind is trying to protect you from the pain you once experienced. The third one is survival social protection. These are limits created by the fear of what other people think about us. For most human history, belonging to a group was not optional, it was necessary for survival. Being rejected from a group could mean danger, isolation, or even death. Over time, the brain learned to treat social rejection like a real threat. It doesn't come from logic, it comes from a deep human need to belong and to be accepted. Because of this, we often hold ourselves back just to fit in. You might downplay your intelligence, your goals, or even your personality just to feel relatable to the people around you. You may avoid standing out because part of you fears that growth will make other people uncomfortable or even push them away. So instead of becoming who you truly are, you become who you think will be easy for others to accept. But here's the irony. Most people are busy worrying about their lives to think about you. So this is what actually happens. You're afraid of what other people think about you. Those same people are afraid of what other people think about them. In the end, everyone is caught in their own thoughts, but very few people are actually thinking about you the way you assume they are. So live your life. Now that we understand where limiting beliefs come from, let's look at how to break free from them. The first step is to identify beliefs that are shaping how you behave, how you feel, and how you think. This means that you analyze different areas of your life to see if there are limiting beliefs, because you could be struggling with limiting beliefs in your finances, but you have healthy beliefs in your relationships, or vice versa. And this is not something you do once and forget about it. I wish it was, but it's a daily awareness practice. You start by paying attention to your reactions, fears, and the patterns in your behavior. For example, what makes you anxious? What kind of thoughts show up when you're about to take a risk or do something new? Those moments often reveal beliefs that are running in the background. The truth is that this requires honesty and effort. Most people want to become a better version of themselves, but very few people are willing to put in the work. But if you want real transformation, this is a step you cannot skip, because you cannot change what you're not aware of. Once you've identified those limiting beliefs, the next step is to challenge them by asking simple but powerful questions like, where did this come from? Is it actually true? How has it affected my life so far? When you begin to trace a belief back to its root, you'll often realize that many of them come from something you're told, something you experienced, or something you observed while growing up. This will help you realize that most limiting beliefs are learned ideas and not permanent truths. The next step is to replace those limiting beliefs with empowering ones, and there are two ways to go about it. The first one is the use of positive affirmations, or I am affirmations. This is where you intentionally speak to the kind of beliefs you want to live by. For example, I am confident, I am enough, I am worthy, I am kind, and so on and so forth. Over time, those new thoughts start to challenge the old patterns, and they reshape how you see yourself and the world around you. The second one, which happens to be my favorite, is using scripture. For example, if I'm struggling with fear, maybe fear of failure, fear of rejection, or whatever kind of fear, I will turn to the Bible and see what it says about fear. One of the verses that I've used before is, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind." I will intentionally declare that verse and meditate on it until fear loses its hold. I've tried both approaches, and in my experience, the latter has been more effective. So try both and see which one works best for you. So when you look at it closely, limiting beliefs are not just random thoughts. These are learned ideas shaped by your environment, your past experiences, and the fear of what people think about you. The moment you start becoming aware of them, questioning them, and replacing them with empowering ones, you begin to take back control of your mind and your life. Because at the end of the day, your life will always move in the direction of what you consistently believe about yourself. You don't need to become a different person. You just need to remove the limits you are never meant to carry in the first place. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway in the comment section below. If this video added value to you, subscribe and become a part of this amazing community of Your Mind is the Limit. See you in the next episode.